Now for our feature presentation.
Hooray! I've been waiting forever.
Well, you all waited, and here it is. Welcome to the second episode of the Unbearable Awards, starring yours truly, along with some very other guests. Please give them a warm welcome. Now, without further ado, let's get on with the results. Starting with the most unbearable lead actor of the 1960s. Oh boy. We have Jack McGowran for The Fearless Vampire Killers, David Levine for Casino Royale, Christopher Lee for Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, and Dick Savage for The Creeping Terror. Now, believe it or not, for our very first category, we actually have a tie for first place. This is between Jack McGowran and David Levine. And you know the rule here. Whenever there's a tie, that means we have to do a penalty vote. Since I'm the judge presenting, I'll make the final decision here. Well, personally, I have a huge gripe with 1960s Casino Royale. So it's unsurprising that David Levine wins by a landslide on this one. David Levine, you can go to hell. You are just simply unbearable.
Hello, my name is DWolf1203, and it is my turn to do this, and I'm going to be bringing you Most Unbearable Costume Design of the 1960s. Our contestants are Zatoichi's Flashing Sword, made in 1964, The Time Machine, made in 1960, Premature Burial in 1962, and Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors, made in 1965. And the winner is, by a very small margin, The Time Machine in 1960. Onwards to our next category of the most unbearable film noir of the 1960s. Now, our nominees for this one is The Underworld America USA from 1961, and Midnight Lace, 1960, Glass of Silence, 1961, and Carry On Constable from 1960 as our bonus entry. And the winner for most unbearable film noir of the 1960s is Carry On Constable.
Welcome to the Unbearable Awards. I am the cool operator, and tonight I will be announcing winners in two categories. The categories are Most Unbearable Monster Movie of the 1960s and Most Unbearable Plot of the 1960s. Before I jump into the first category, I just wanted to ask a quick question. Now, what's Dracula's car called? Anyone care to guess? Anyone?
No!
Well, let me go. It is called a mobile blood unit, and we all know why. Alright, the nominees in the category for Most Unbearable Monster Movie of the 1960s, and they are Gamera vs. Gyron, 1969, Son of Godzilla, 1967, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, 1968, and The Curse of the Werewolf, 1961. And of the four nominees, believe it or not, we have a three-way tie, and we have to have a winner. So, being the judge, I get the distinct privilege to select who will be the winner, and based on the three-way tie, my winner is going to be The Curse of the Werewolf, 1961. So the winner for the Most Unbearable Monster Movie of the 1960s goes to The Curse of the Werewolf, 1961. Now, to the next category, the most unbearable plot of the 1960s. And when we talk about movie plots, I just like to say the top 3 things. I've made up a little list here, and it's the top 3 things we can learn from movies, right? And I'm wondering if probably some of you have thought about this, having been watching movies for pretty much all your life. My number 1 goes to, it's always possible to find a parking spot directly outside or opposite the building you're visiting. Even if it's in a busy thoroughfare, it's in the middle of New York or Toronto, you could always find a parking spot exactly beside where you're going. And that's how the movie is set. And number 2 would be, when paying for a taxi, don't look at your wallet as you take out a note. Just grab one out at random and hand it over. It will always be the exact fare, because that's what always happens in movies. And number 3, television news bulletins usually contain a story that affects you personally at the precise moment that it's being heard. Have you ever been watching a movie and then the television news comes on and the actor watches the news and it's about them? Okay, those are my top 3 things you can learn from movies. Now let's get to announcing. The nominees in this category, they are Horrors of Spider Island, 1960, Nude on the Moon, 1961, Agent for HARM, 1966, and Sweet November, 1968. And the winner goes to Nude on the Moon, 1961. That is the winner for the most unbearable plot of the 1960s. Goes to the movie Nude on the Moon, 1961. Thank you, and this is the Cool Operator.